My lords, it's a pleasure to follow the noble Lord Hunt of King's Heath, and I entirely agree with him that these two amendments, 174 in the name of the noble Baroness Lady Burt of Solihull, and 182 in the name of the noble Lord Kennedy of Southwark, and also Lord Hunt's name, are very much complementary. And I would add essential a necessary part of this bill to make it the complete package, the bill that your lordship's house is trying to make it the best that it can be. I follow the noble Lord Hunt in reflecting on the invaluable advice from the Designate Domestic Abuse Commissioner for England and Wales, who's provided so much useful advice through this bill. And that advice from the Commissioner noted that whilst the BEIS Best Practice Guide, in fact, offers suggestions, advice that pretty well reflects these two amendments, its recommendations are only voluntary. Yet if we look around the world, and as we so often do to New Zealand, that's one example of a place where this is part of statutory guidance, statutory provision that gives workers the protection they need. And I note the TUC submission to that BEIS review of this issue. It included something that's not, I think, probably is covered under the noble Baroness Burt's amendment, if not explicitly spelled out, the need for flexible working arrangements. We can well understand through the turmoil of the experience of surviving and escaping from domestic abuse that flexible work might well be essential. And I also would reflect on the TUC advice about the need to provide what might be called training in first aid for staff members to ensure that those who see evidence of abuse, perhaps have abuse disclosed to them, know what to do. And in that context, I refer to the contribution just made, the very powerful contribution just made by the noble Lady Baroness Newlove. We think about the suffering of that victim of abuse being so treated in a workplace. And it's not enough to say that employers should not behave in that way, as the BEIS guidance currently does. We need statutory provision that says it's their responsibility, their legal responsibility, not to act in that way. Thank you, my lords.